Hey all my future buyers and sellers out there, I am here to teach you more than you knew before about the real estate process. And I've heard some rumors that some of you out there are going at this solo, independent, and trying to sell your house yourself without a trusted real estate agent. Now, I'm not here to change your mind, but I thought it would be a great opportunity to let you in on all the things that a real estate agent brings to the table and let you come to your own conclusions. So let's get into it. Hey, it's Ella with Ella Estate Realty and welcome back to my channel. Now, if you've never been here before, I give you a weekly dose of all the tips, hints, and hacks you can handle about real estate. And if you're returning, you already know the drill. If my information is valuable and you're able to use it, then definitely leave me some love and some likes to give me some positive feedback. As for today's topic and what we'll be talking about for the rest of the video, I wanted to touch base on for sale by owners, or FSBOs for short, compared to real estate agents, and taking the opportunity to shine light on what real estate agents do to get your house sold compared to if you were to take on this task alone. Now, I promise you I'll only sprinkle in a little bit of bias because I am a real estate agent in the state of Washington, but overall I'm trying to give you a level playing field and better idea of all the aspects that go into bringing a real estate deal together. So let's hit you with some facts. Just like many topics in real estate, I try to get creative in the way that I explain it, and for sale by owners is no exception. Now, to me, and don't get me wrong, I like saving money and finding a good deal more than the biggest coupon cutter you know, but some things are better left up to the professionals, or at least consulting with a professional before you go down certain roads. And that's the way I think about for sale by owners. For example, you can definitely pull your own tooth, and some people will skip the dentist, save thousands, and be on their merry way. When the rest of us, the majority of us, will probably end up with more headaches, pain, and shelling out more money than we thought we were saving to start out with. So I just want you to be wary of all the things that go into selling your home and not take for granted the real estate agent's role in the situation. It's said that if you work with a real estate agent, you'll get 25% more than if you sell your house on your own. Now, I don't know where that stat comes from, so I'll hit you with another one. From the National Association of Realtors, they say out of the 5 million deals done every year on average, annually, that 11% are for sale by owners. And if you take the average of all the for sale by owner houses, it's about 200,000. And if you take all the deals done with real estate agents involved, it's about 280,000. So obviously there's a lot of situations and differences and price range fluctuation that goes into this stat, but overall, you'll notice that the average is a $80,000 difference, and that if you're using a real estate agent, you're bound to make more out of these stats that are given. You're also bound to hit some snags that people didn't anticipate when they went to sell their house. Now, that being said, I've broken it down into a couple categories of how a real estate agent comes in, implements all their systems and knowledge, and just makes it as smooth as possible. So it is about 5 that I've come up with. Pricing, marketing, paperwork, finding the right buyer, and overall management of the system. So let's start with pricing. I'll say the biggest thing that for sale by owners struggle with is that they don't know how to price their house, or the emotions are tied up in it, or everyone's whispering in their ear how much it's worth. So first, I would start with figuring out what kind of market you're in. And like I said, your hairdresser to your personal trainer to your neighbors to your parents, all are gonna have an opinion about what's going on in the market and how to price your house. So it can be really hard to navigate through the hearsay without a professional on your side that knows exactly what's going on in the market and is dealing with multiple offer situations or things like that. Next is figuring out what kind of actions you can take to increase your return on investment. I'm talking about improvements to your house, because some sellers will just go, I want it as is, sold the way it is, and if you just tweaked a couple things, it could really increase how much you could ask for the house. Vice versa, if you get too enthusiastic about about doing renovations to your house, you could make it too personalized or go too over the top and actually lose money on the improvement. And then lastly is picking the actual purchase price. Now, I'll remind you that there is a difference between how much your house is worth, how much you think it's worth, how much a buyer is willing to pay for it, and how much you should price it at. And the last one, how much you should price it at, really comes with a strategy. So I wouldn't base it off of just whatever's online or whatever people are telling you. I would have a strategy behind why you're pricing it the way you are. And that's when a real estate agent comes in and tells you, like, this is what's going on out there. This is what to expect. I run the comps. This is how we should price your house. And there is the value that some for sale by owners aren't able to grasp. So you guys know now. Next up is one of my favorite ones just because it has a creative twist, and that would be marketing. Now, there is advertising, which is the tools that you use, and then there's marketing, which is the strategies you implement. And it can be kind of a struggle for some people to come up with a good strategy to implement, because gone are the days that you can just stick a sign in your front yard and hopefully one of your neighbors will drive by and see it's for sale. Now you need to be online and you need to make it shine. So I tell my sellers that it is a standard that when I meet with them, it's all coming out of my pocket, but I'm gonna do drone work so they can see the house from every angle. I'm gonna get professional photography done so it really stands out through the online ads. I'm gonna get a 3D tour so they don't have to worry about showings as much, and I'm gonna also get a 3D schematic. So there is no question that when a buyer sees the house, they're gonna know every nook and cranny, every angle to make sure that they are as qualified as we want them before they book a showing and interrupt your schedule. And like I said, it's a strategy. You know, just imagine that you had to interview each one of those vendors and figure out which one's best, which one's dependable. You have to coordinate it all, you have to proof it all, and then get it into a flyer and print everything out. This is a lot of additional cost that's kind of behind the scenes because the agent takes care of all of it and can really take time and energy and money. So just being aware that there is a lot of stuff that goes into a professional agent executing this process, and it's gonna really come through online when buyers are searching for their house. Speaking of finding the right buyer, how are we gonna do that? What are some extra strategies that real estate agents have above the average person taking on this on their own? I would say one, you know, real estate agents are social butterflies. They have a network behind them, whether it's vendors or friends and family, buyers, or other real estate agents. They tend to know a lot of people and are able to spread the news that your house is up for sale, talk to other real estate agents, and possibly find a buyer that is looking for exactly your house. Also, there is a such thing as reverse prospecting. So, you know, when you go to Zillow, online, any real estate website, and you type in your criteria, 2-bedroom, 3-bath, $200,000, real estate agents are able to access that information. They can be able to contact that buyer for you to bring them straight to you because they're searching for exactly that house. So that is a great tool in a real estate agent's toolbox to apply to you that, again, you're not gonna have independently. This one's the craziest to me, but the paperwork, the negotiation, the seeing the problems before they occur. I don't know how some for sale by owners know how to interpret a contract, because I don't know about you, but I spend hours looking over contracts, reading the fine print line by line, so much so that I'm able to explain it to my clients easily, figuring out what boxes are the best to check to make it the most competitive, or which is the best offer, or how many days before an inspection takes place is the best. It's just crazy to me that people want to take this on independently. Now, granted, you can definitely bring on a lawyer, overlook the contracts. You can even bring on a lawyer that specializes in real estate, which I highly recommend, to make sure that you are good to go with this contract. But sometimes working with an agent, they've seen a lot over the years. They're able to look over a contract and let you know, now sure, you wanted a high price, but this person has waived all these contingencies, so this is really, really a good deal. And you might not see the value in that if you don't understand the contracts. And you can hire a attorney, but it'll end up costing you too. So just make sure that you're adding all these costs up before you say you're gonna save $7,000 on a real estate's commission when there's all these things to pay for and time spent. You know, how much is your time worth to make sure that you're using it the wisest? And lastly, the last reason you should be using a real estate agent over selling it yourself, taking on this task, is just honestly the overall management of the experience. Starting from day one, getting calls from real estate agents trying to get you to sell your house with them. This can be very frustrating, and I have spoke to quite a few for sale by owners, FSBOs, and they were very, very upset when I was calling to set up a showing for my buyer. But also, you won't be able to figure out, you know, the real estate agent that wants to sell you on their services versus the buyer, or showings. Are you gonna stay in the house while the buyer's looking through your house? Are you gonna manage these times? Are you gonna be around? Because I know buyers don't really want you over their shoulders as they're trying to figure out if this is the place they want to put their money, you know? And just overall, it is a business transaction. At the end of the day, that's what it is on paper, but you can't help but be in love with your house from some end or another. You know, memories have been made there, and when somebody lowballs you, it can hurt. You can take it personally, or you can be really upset and not even want to counter. Or if somebody says something bad about the paint that you are in love with on the walls as they were going through the showing and you were there and you overheard them talking smack, you could also take that personally and not want to deal with that buyer, and maybe they had the best possibility of closing the deal. So it's just having a neutral party, a professional with experience that brings a lot to the table, can end up saving you thousands, saving you headaches, times, legal mistakes, all of the above. There's just too many positives to count, but I hope this list gave you scratch the surface of what a real estate agent brings to the table instead of you doing it yourself. Now, if you're a go-getter, a do-it-yourselfer, I totally understand. I wish you best of luck. But if you ever have a question, you can definitely reach me at my website, EllaEstateRealty.com. Here to help no matter what you choose to do. Other than that, I just want to say thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate each and every one of you, and I hope you're having a lovely day.